All right, let's dive right in. We're talking about the world of academic publishing today, and specifically why journal metrics are just so incredibly important. I mean, they're the key to standing out, building trust, and really attracting the best research out there.
Okay, so let's kick things off with this quote right here. A journal without visible metrics is like a shop without a signboard. Wow, that really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly sets the stage for what we're talking about. In a world this competitive, you just can't afford to be invisible.
I mean, let's be real, the academic publishing marketplace is, well, it's crowded. It's incredibly competitive. You've got literally thousands of journals, and they're all fighting for the same thing: the attention of the best authors, the sharpest reviewers, and the most engaged readers.
So, put yourself in an author's shoes for a second. You've just finished some potentially groundbreaking research. The choice of where to publish can feel pretty overwhelming, right? With all that noise, how do you decide which journal to trust? And more importantly, how do you make your journal stand out as that clear, trusted choice?
Well, the answer really is metrics. They are your journal's signboard. And look, these are not just random numbers on a web page. Think of them as powerful signals, signposts of your credibility. They're telling the world, hey, we're efficient, we have impact, and you can absolutely trust us.
So what are we actually talking about when we say journal metrics? Well, at its core, it's a standard set of data points that show how your journal is performing in key areas. Things like how fast you publish, the scholarly impact you have, and how much readers are engaging with your content. It's the vital stats, the spec sheet on your signboard.
Okay, so if these metrics are signs, what are they actually saying? What are the messages that authors are really looking for when they land on your journal's website? Let's decode these signs together and break down the really important categories.
First things first, every author is thinking it. How fast are you? I mean, time is everything for a researcher, right? A simple, clear timeline like this one is golden. It answers that question instantly. From day 1 of submission to day 135 of publication, boom, the whole journey is laid out right there.
All right, next up is the big one, reputation. Authors want to know, how popular are you? And what's really cool about this is that impact isn't just one thing. Sure, you've got the big name impact factor, but then you have things like SJR, which is all about the prestige of the journal citing your work, or SNP, which gets into the nitty-gritty of citation potential in your specific field. Each one tells a slightly different but super important part of the story.
Then you've got the question of access. Simple question, can people actually read the research you publish? This is a huge deal. You've got the two main models here. Open access, which is free for everyone but often funded by what are called article processing charges, or APCs. And then you have the traditional subscription model. Being crystal clear about which one you are is absolutely crucial for authors.
And, in today's world, it's all about global reach. Diversity is huge. And a simple little donut chart like this, it's incredibly powerful. It shows, at a glance, that you're not just a local journal. You have international appeal. It speaks volumes about your inclusivity and your reputation on the world stage.
Okay, so you've got all these amazing metrics. Great, but just having the numbers tucked away somewhere isn't going to cut it. You have to present them strategically. It's all about designing your signboard, and how it looks is just as important as what it says. Think about your homepage. This is your prime real estate. You want those headline metrics front and center, the big, eye-catching numbers that grab attention immediately. So you start with something that screams prestige, right? Like your impact factor. Then you add a number that shows you've got high standards, that you're selective, something like a competitive acceptance rate. And you finish it off with a metric that proves you're efficient. You won't leave authors hanging. Something like your average time from submission to acceptance. See the pattern? The key on the homepage is to be selective. Just the highlights. You want to hook them in fast. So here's the game plan, the best practice. You hook them on the homepage with those 3 or 4 headline stats. Then for anyone who wants to go deeper, you create a dedicated all metrics page where you lay everything out. And a super important detail, transparency is everything. Always, always, always include a last updated date. It builds so much trust. So why are we obsessing over this? Why does getting the presentation right matter so much? It's actually pretty simple. When you share your metrics transparently, you are directly building a stronger, more visible, and more trustworthy reputation. And the payoff here is just massive. It creates this amazing positive feedback loop. Check it out. Clear metrics build trust. That trust attracts higher quality submissions. And those better submissions, they boost your journal's impact. That, right there, is how you build real, sustainable momentum.
Now, of course, this isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Your strategy has to grow with your journal. If you're a new journal, you're going to want to focus on things you can control right away, like your process, your speed, your technical professionalism. But if you're an established journal, you can really lean into your legacy, showcasing that long-term impact and global diversity.
And hey, let's not forget the tech behind the scenes. This stuff is so important. Integrating with tools like ORCID for author IDs or Crossref for those all-important DOIs, it's a huge signal of professionalism. These integrations aren't just fancy add-ons, they make your journal fundamentally easier to find, easier to cite, and easier to trust. It's a game changer.
So, we're coming full circle, right back to where we started. A journal without visible metrics is like a shop without a signboard. In this crowded, competitive world, you just can't afford to be invisible. Your metrics, they're your voice, they're your handshake, they're your big, open invitation to the entire scholarly community.
So, the final question I want to leave you with is this. What is your journal's signboard telling the world? Take a really hard, honest look at your website. Is that signboard clear? Is it inviting? Is it telling the story you want it to tell? At OJS Services, we actually help journals build that signboard. We do it through setup, upgrades, and custom development, all to make sure you're presenting your work at its absolute best.